everybody, as you can see we've got a train going. Welcome to part 3 of building a Christmas layout. As you can see, it's not quite the same as it was at the end of the last video. This is because the length of the last video being nearly half an hour for showing just the general making of this base here was, I feel, way too long. The first video was about right where I wanted it to be, but the last one was just over the top. But there's not a lot I could do about that because I wanted to show what I was doing. However, having got it done to the standard of the last video, the next bit was easy, and I think you could have followed what I was doing. So I'm just going to bring you down here closer and we can have a look to see what I've done since the last video to make this one a bit shorter. Well, what have I done? Basically, I've glued in the foam into the frame using Gorilla Glue, which is why it's all expanded out everywhere, but that's no problem. I can just carve off the excess of that. I've gone around with a kitchen knife here and I've carved the foam edge just so it's not a big square lump on the front. I've made a slope down here using the Wonderland Scenics incline that they do. I've packed out underneath. Gorilla Glue's got this trick. That wasn't planned. Base. So I've just packed out underneath to add a bit of support to this with some offcuts of polystyrene and things. And over here I've just made a little hill there that sticks out, and I've carved this corner the same. Now the most of the work was done over the back, so we'll go over there and we'll have a look around the back. What have I done around here? Well, basically I've just carved out even more on this side and made the little lake and the pond a bit. I've made a little bridge that will stick up under the track here. It doesn't have to stick all the way down because I'm going to be pouring some resin in there to make water. Never done that, so that's a whole new thing. Carved a bit of that with a cut off here and just glued it on here to make a little mound. And then what I got to seal this and remove some of the little rough bits was I got my gas soldering iron and a piece of metal that attaches on the end and just smoothed it out a little bit, and also helped seal the plastic rough fluffy edges, so it's made it a more compact hard surface in which to put the resin. So what are we going to do on part 3 of this video? Well, having gone through this and made the formwork for the ground, we're just going to use this plaster cloth from Wonderland Scenics. I've not used this stuff before, but again, this is simple stuff. I've normally used scrunched up newspaper then gone over with plaster, but this time we'll just give this a go. I've never used it, so we'll see how good it is. There we go. And I've got in here enormous roll. There's going to be loads, more than enough to do this several times over. So let's get making a mess. So it helps if I press record. Basically, you just get a piece of the cloth, cut it to size that you want for this particular piece. We'll just go with that. Lay it in the water. Take it out again. It goes really floppy and starts to stick to itself, and lay it on where you want it, and then just smooth it. Into one piece, and you just rub it into the layer below. I've covered the track to protect that, and I've also put masking tape around the edge to protect the wood along the bottom here to keep it off the paint. Lay it in the water and lay it on where we want it, and slowly form the terrain that we want. And as it goes off, it will form a hard layer. But it does sort of collapse in your hand and become very floppy. And I'll come back once we're all coated over. Now we just put the last piece on. Still see a bit of green through there, so I'm going to put one more bit on. It's actually got on very well. Like I say, never used it before, but yeah, I'm going to say thumbs up for this cloth. It goes into all the contours nicely because it's only a very fine weave, a loose weave, and then by the time you smear it all in, it just takes up the shape of what's underneath. So yeah. And this has taken about 25 minutes to do. The whole lot. And there we go. Now this bit is already gone off, so it doesn't take long at all, and it goes off quick. So we'll leave this for about an hour. I'm going to have my lunch, and then we'll come back and have another look. See you in a bit. What I'm now going to do, using this smooth finish filler, is I'm going to make the road surface flush with the top up there. Just smooth out the road, so we've got a, literally, as it says, a smooth finish. And that will do for the road. And what I'm also going to do is fill up to the top of the frame, so it's a smooth level edge to everything. Just so there's no holes to finish off. And I'll see you once I've finished this little job. we're now ready to add some of the scenic elements. Add stuff like the station building where it's going to be, and a few trees. I'm going to put some grass where people walk a lot in the snow. It gets meshed out and turned in maybe a bit of grass somewhere. And places like on steep slopes, I'm going to put the grass on before I add the snow. Now what I also have here is some bark, which I'm going to slice up to use as some of the rock face. There's going to be a little bit of rock on here as well, just to add some visual interest. We can always change it if it goes wrong. So now everything is on, we'll take the masking tape off and we can see the finished product. Sorry for kicking the tripod there. But there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Well guys, here we have it. That'll do for today. Part 3 is done and dusted, I think. We've now got to wait for the snow and add the rocks. So all that's left to do now is play drains. Still got to clean the track. See you next time. Bye.